Another patient file landed on my desk with a thud. Jacob Smith, it read. Chronic fatigue, loss of appetite, insomnia. Typical complaints for my profession. When he entered, I startled. Odd features, sallow complexion, eyes sunken deep. He smelled like a corpse. Please, have a seat, I said, recovering my composure. Jacob eased into the chair. Dr. Miller, I fear something. Something wrong with me. Why don't you start from the beginning? I tried to smile. It's just a patient, Miller. Jacob's symptoms confounded me. Routine tests revealed nothing, no illness, no abnormalities. But his appearance was strange, skin graying, nails crumbling. An overpowering stench clung to him like rot. Did so different symptoms was a hard joke? I tested it. Gingerly, I took his wrist, feeling for a pulse. Nothing. What? Nothing. He didn't have a pulse. Like a corpse. Startled, I pulled away, scrutinizing him. What's happening to me? Anguish contorted his sunken features. Mouth agape, I faltered. I'm not sure, Mr. Smith. But I will find out. Despite my growing suspicions about Jacob's peculiar condition, I continued our sessions. I could no longer ignore the nagging truth. Whatever afflicted Jacob transcended medical knowledge. I sit at home on sofa. Tried to assemble a jigsaw puzzle. Man, gray skin, pulse is not palpable, there is a putrid odor. Hepatorenal syndrome? Hepatitis? When I thought about it, eerie scratching noises echoed through the vents. What was that? In that moment I received cryptic message, help me, doctor. I'm losing my grip on reality. I told about Jacob, my wife. Sarah grew concerned over my obsession. Tell him for change, doctor. But I wanted to understand, what is Jacob's phenomenon? Sarah's pleas fell on deaf ears as I scoured medical texts, desperate for any explanation behind Jacob's affliction. Jacob's disturbing messages repeated. It was first time when patients spoke with me for a not working time. One night, while YouTube watched, I discovered telling of Revenants, the resurrected dead cursed to wander soulless. The symptoms matched Jacob's precisely. My blood froze. Could he truly be one of the living dead? Despite Sarah's protests, I pursued every medical test imaginable on Jacob, CT scans, MRIs, blood work. Each result baffled the doctors more than the last. His brain displays zero activity, one doctor muttered, eyes wide. I thought our MRI was broken. Jacob's skeletal frame betrayed disturbing abnormalities, necrotic tissue, missing organs, and an absence of vital signs. Impossible, another doctor gasped. He should be dead. I pored over the scans obsessively, my eyes burning from lack of sleep. The evidence damned Jacob as an anomaly beyond scientific explanation, a veritable walking dead from the folklore I'd uncovered. Certainty solidified within me, Jacob was one of the walking dead. Rational explanations faltered against the inexplicable truth. I launched a covert investigation, determined to unravel his origins. I found Jacob's address in an open internet archive. Dread coiled in my gut as I approached Jacob's address, a dilapidated house overgrown with weeds. The door creaked open, releasing a musty odor. Dust motes danced in the dim light. Jacob? I called out, my voice echoing hollowly. Rooms lay vacant, furniture draped in sheets like ghostly apparitions. In the kitchen, I found the cupboards barren, a thick layer of grime coating the counters. Has anyone lived here for years? I whispered, inspecting the eerie stillness. Driven by desperation, I scoured public records for any trace of Jacob's existence. Nothing. He was like a ghost. Undeterred, I tracked down former neighbors who once lived near his decrepit home. Jacob? Never heard about him, they'd respond with furrowed brows. How could someone simply vanish without a shred of evidence? I found a dusty box of photographs from Jacob's abandoned home. Flicking through the faded images, my blood ran cold. There he was, unmistakable in his gaunt visage, captured decades apart yet eternally unchanging. A Polaroid from 1953 depicted him lounging on a park bench, the same vacant stare I'd grown accustomed to. Another snapshot, dated 1983, showed him standing motionless outside a nondescript building, his clothes archaic yet pristine. With trembling hands, I examined each photograph, their timestamps spanning over half a century, yet Jacob remained ageless, defying the natural order. I drive to home. Needs slept and thought about it. Nightmares plagued my slumber, visions of twisted metal and shattered glass. Sarah's lifeless eyes stared back at me, her body contorted in unnatural angles. The deafening screech of tires reverberated through my mind. It looked like Trolley. But when I woke up I saw Sarah, who peaceful sleep on our bed. "Ethan, you don't look well," she woke up, and it was first, what she said. I waved her off, sinking into my chair. "I'm fine, just a rough night." Her lips tightened, unconvinced. "This obsession with Jacob is consuming you. Have you considered taking a break?" "I can't," I snapped, raking my hands through my hair. "Not until I uncover the truth." I had a phone call. That was Dr. Reynolds. "Miller, we need to talk." "I think it was happened." "Again." "What? What happened?" I didn't understand Doctor's words. Deep within, a part of me wondered if I'd finally lost my grip on reality. But the mysteries surrounding Jacob compelled me onward, heedless of the potential cost to my sanity. I forgot about the doctor's words and continued my Jacob's detective story. I decided called to Jacob. "I want to meet and tell him about all my thinks." "Jacob," I began, my voice wavering, "I know what you are." He answered. "Do you, now?" "You're one of the walking dead," I continued, "a reanimated corpse, brought back by some unholy force." Jacob's laughter echoed through the room, chilling me to the core. "You've finally unraveled the truth, Dr. Miller." Jacob's laughter died down. "You foolish man," he rasped. "I'm no living corpse. I'm a manifestation of your fractured mind." Those words hit me like a sledgehammer. Denial washed over me as I desperately clung to my beliefs. "No, that's impossible. You're real." "Open your eyes, Ethan," he said, his form wavering. "You're a schizophrenic, trapped in your delusions. I am but a phantom, a projection of your obsession." The room began spinning as reality crumbled around me. Jacob's form dissipated, leaving me alone with the harsh truth. My mind betraying me, consumed by madness. In that moment, I realized the true horror was my illness. And Jacob is just a part my schizophrenia. Memories flooded back, a torrent of repressed anguish. Sarah's face, contorted in terror as our car skidded off the rain-slicked road. The sickening crunch of metal on impact. Her lifeless body cradled in my arms, her warmth fading. Jacob was my tried-to-forget Sarah death, try of deads revive. Rocking back and forth, I wept bitter tears, grieving not only Sarah's loss but the disintegration of my own mind. I stumbled through the house, a kaleidoscope of memories assaulting me. Photos of our wedding day mocked my anguish, her radiant smile a cruel taunt. Scattered documents chronicled my descent. Drained, I wandered aimlessly until a door caught my eye, one I'd never noticed before. Trembling hands twisted the knob, revealing a dimly lit room crammed with boxes. Ripping one open, I gasped. Journals, overflowing with delusional ramblings, stared back at me, a jarring chronicle of my deterioration. "No. No, no, and no." The cries tore from my throat like shrapnel as I tore through box after box. Photos of Jacob, haunting scribbles detailing his undead state. Tears streaked my face as I cradled the damning evidence, my mind a hurricane of anguish and self-loathing. Tremors racked my body as realization sank in. This reality was another delusion, another twisted fabrication of my fractured psyche. Blinking, I saw reality. I'm in a ward. No windows. Psychiatric hospital. Medication dulled my crazy, a merciful reprieve from the torturous hallucinations. As awareness trickled back, I recognized the sterile confines of the psych ward, my true reality. "How are you feeling today, Dr. Miller?" she asked, her tone laced with practiced concern. I swallowed hard, the truth a bitter pill. "Trapped," I croaked, my throat raw from screaming. "Trapped." Her expression softened with empathy. "We'll get through this together. One day at a time."